Battery full. Connected. Connected to. Focus pad.
Hello, my name is John Fowler.
Hey everybody! Coming at you from Tumwater, Washington. And it is snowing a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm a trucking across the USA. Yeah, I'm trucking just about every day. Yeah, I'm trucking. So what you got to say? I'd like to hear it today. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'd like to hear it today. Trucker John OTR. Tuesday, Thursday, live streaming on YouTube, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Won't you join me, please? From somewhere in the United States of America,
Tumwater, Washington.
is Trucker John O.T.R.
That's over the road.
Who knows where I'll be live streaming from?
I do.
It could be a rest area.
Yeah.
It could be a truck stop.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe even a
Walmart parking lot. Yeah.
That's right. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
That's right.
It's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down.
It's going down.
Hello, my name.
Hello, my name. I already did that one. By golly. I already did that one. All right, everybody. Voila. I am here eating breakfast in my truck with my high-tech graphics. I'm back in my truck. Share. Like and subscribe to Trucker John channel live stream. All right, everybody. It seems like it's been forever since I did a live stream, because I didn't do one on Thursday. It's been a whole week. It feels like a month or something, you know? Crazy, right? So did everybody get through Thanksgiving okay? And all that? You see, I'm here in Tumwater, Washington, just out of Olympia, which is like the state capital. And let me, in order to turn my windshield wiper on, I gotta turn my key on. You get buzzing noises, but let me just clear that off a little bit. But there's a little bit of snow out there in that field. I just walked into McDonald's there in the truck stop to get my breakfast. and it was snowing a little bit. You can see on the top of my mirror there, we got about 1/8 of an inch, I guess, of snow. But hey, I guess it snows here in the wintertime. So, anyhow, just got in here last night. Hey, Wes Webb. Wes Webb and Kenneth Otto. Hey, everybody. Glad to see you here. Welcome. Welcome to my breakfast time with John here in Tumwater, Washington. And as everyone comes in, I'll go back to this shot. This is where I'm at. This is my beautiful spot here. It's actually not bad, you know. I mean, on that field, you got some trees. And so it's a little bit foresty. A little foresty looking over here in Tumwater. Tumwater, Washington. Remember, they still make, what's the beer they make here? Is it Bush? I remember when I was a kid, I was up here with my folks, and we took the tour up in Olympia. I guess it's Bush beer, right? Is that what they make up here? You know, this is back in the 60s or 70s. I remember we went to their the brewery, took a big tour of it. Good morning, everybody. Got my Pilot coffee mug here, but I'm drinking McDonald's coffee. I just ordered it real quick. I love the app. I was running late as usual, but I wanted to get some breakfast, so I just ordered it on the app. Walked in there. By the time I walked there, it was sitting there waiting on the counter for me. I just picked up, and turned right around, came right back here. So I got coffee, and I got my biscuit, and all that good stuff. I was gonna go ahead and put this on your. I don't know if I need to bother with that today, but so yeah, I got me some McDonald's coffee and a McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit. I'm just looking for there's lots of egg. I see cheese. There's barely any bacon. There's a little tiny piece of sliver of bacon. They're getting chintzy on the bacon on me this morning, looks like. But, so anyhow, we made it, we've all made it this far. I'm back on the road. After the big debacle of my truck and all those delays and then missing Thanksgiving with my kids and all that stuff, well, we're back on the road. The truck seems to be doing okay. It seems to be fine. Knock on wood, right? So that, but I don't jinx it. But so far, everything's holding up. And then, so today is like my day off. I delivered a load last night up in Seattle. It's about 60 miles north of here. And I've got a load tomorrow. It doesn't pick up till tomorrow afternoon down in Vancouver, which is about another, it's almost 100 miles, I guess, about 90-something miles down that way. And then, I decided maybe share this a little bit. But, so So today's like a day off. This will be like my spa day, I guess. I'll be hanging out here at the truck stop and you know, have time to go in and shower up and get all nice and clean and everything, and I can relax. And then tomorrow I go down to Vancouver and I will pick up that load, and then that's going right back to basically West Valley City, Utah, which is basically Salt Lake City, right out of Salt Lake. And that's where I picked up the load that I just delivered. So I'm just doing a big circle. I went from Salt Lake up to Seattle, now from Seattle down to Vancouver, and then Vancouver back to Salt Lake, basically. So sometimes that's the way it goes. Just like you just go in a circle. You just go in circles, you know. But so hopefully the weather won't be too bad. I'm really a fair weather driver, you know, and I blame it on my old age, basically. I don't like chaining. I don't chain. I've never chained. I might have told that story, but about when I first started driving back in 2004. About my first time out on the road by myself, I came across a big snowstorm up in Donner Pass on I-80 in California, where I got kind of snowed in, actually. And then they had put all these chain restrictions up. So I thought, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it's freezing cold, snowing like crazy. I'm trying to put these chains on. I've never put chains on a big rig before. Like I said, you know, I used to chain up just regular cars all the time, like when I was in high school or in my 20s, and we'd go up to the mountains to go skiing or something. And that was really easy, man. That would take like 15 minutes. I could chain a car up, you know. So I thought, oh, how hard could it be to chain a truck up, you know? Well, it was hard. And it took me like 2 hours finally to chain up. You know, I had to chain up the, I guess, I don't know if it was all the drive tires or just 2 of the drive tires, and then you have to chain your tandems. I don't know, it took me a long time. And then I took off, so I started driving. I don't think I was driving too fast, because I know that you can only drive like 30 miles an hour max. But immediately, at least 1 or 2 sets flew off the truck. And then they only wanted the chain requirements only for like, it was like a few miles, and then I had to take them off again. So I just said, you know what, I'm not chaining ever again. And I haven't chained since. And that was, what, 18 years ago or so. Because it was a big hassle. I didn't even know what I was doing. I ended up losing at least two chains, you know. And I'm old. I don't need to be doing that shit. You know? There's certain things that you don't need to do when you're old. It'd be different if I was 25, you know, and young and strapping and all that kind of shit. Or it would be also be different if, okay, if I was my age, and at that time I was still in my 40s. Now I'm in my 60s. Um, but let's say I had started truck driving at 20 or 20 in my 20s, and I've been doing it for 20 years, and I'd had all this experience of how to chain, and I would have had it down. Okay, then that's different, right? But when you're an old guy and you just started doing it late in life, you just started this truck driving thing kind of late in life or whatever, or midlife. You know, I don't need to do that. I don't need to prove anything or whatever, you know. So my philosophy just is if it's unsafe. Wait, what's the phrase? If it's not safe enough to drive without chains, it's not safe to drive. I think that's the expression. So that's pretty much what I live by. Unfortunately, you know, I don't live in Michigan or, you know, Wisconsin or something, or Chicago, Illinois, and places like that on the East Coast, where they get a lot of snow and the drivers pretty much have to drive in this shit. And if you're near any type of a grade, mountain grade, you're going to be chaining and stuff. Fortunately for me, I'm out in the West Coast pretty much, so I can still work, you know, and the snow isn't as much and as frequent as it is in other places. So that's good for me. So whenever I had to deal with snow, I can either wait it out, because a lot of times, you know, the snow that we have out here, it's like this, you know, it'll snow for a little bit, and then they might put a train restriction up for a few hours, and then they lift the chain restrictions and you can go. So a lot of times you can just wait it out. Sometimes you can reroute. You can find another route, you know, that's not as snowy. And so that's usually what I do. And I haven't had any really problems as far as like being late on loads or missing loads because I was sitting out a snowstorm. It's usually worked out okay, you know. So but like I said, if I was like, you know, back in the Midwest or out in the Northeast or wherever, and I didn't want to deal with the snow, I would have to either just shut down for wintertime or just try to just be a snowbird and just try to work all down in the South or whatever. Which you could do if you're over the road, but if you're like a dedicated driver or something like that, or a company driver, if you're a company driver, you don't have any choice really. I mean, you could ask for stuff, but they're going to send you wherever they send you, you know. So that's what I like about being an independent contractor, is I can pretty much decide when and where I want to go. I'm not, I don't have like a dispatcher that I have to follow their orders. I can be my own boss. I can be my own man, you know. Oh, I need to realign this, huh? Let's see. Did my sticker come off? I think my I voted sticker. I know I've got the one on the bottom, but I had one here. So that sucks. Where is it? Where's my sticker? I thought it might just be. I I've got this little. It's kind of like a little cooler, one of those little mini cooler chests, and I kind of just use it as a console. And I put water, and water bottle and a coffee mug in there. But I don't see the sticker. It must have fallen off. It's probably in a suitcase or something. Because I was talk on it. When I was in the hotels last week, a couple weeks ago, I was bringing this. I would pack this with me, and when I had coffee, I would pour coffee in it. So I don't know, maybe it came off in the suitcase or something. But I had an I voted sticker right here, and then I've got one on the bottom here. But so anyhow, at least I still got that one. That one's sticking pretty good. And another thing. Here's another thing. Okay. You guys want to hear a dirty little secret? And when I say dirty, I mean dirty. Are you guys ready for a dirty? I'm almost too embarrassed to tell this story. I don't even know if I should tell it. I am totally embarrassed if I tell this story. I don't know. Maybe I won't tell it now because now I'm getting embarrassed. Do you guys want me to tell the story? The embarrassing story? Now I'm probably building it up too much, and it might not even be embarrassing. I don't know. Okay, I guess I'm gonna tell it, but I just want you to know ahead of time that I'm gonna be embarrassed. Okay, these pair of jeans that I've been wearing these jeans for like 3 weeks now, I think. I don't know. Because when I was in Vegas and I packed, there were some days where I wore shorts and stuff because it was warm enough. And then I packed these jeans, and then I couldn't find. I know I've got like 3 or 4 pairs of blue jeans, and this is the only pair I could find. And all my clothes basically are in this truck. And so when I was in Vegas and stuff, I just thought, well, they must be in the truck somewhere, the other jeans. And then every time I go in the truck, I would kind of look for them, but I couldn't find them. And then I guess the other day, I pretty much tore this truck apart looking for my jeans. I don't know what the hell I did with my other pairs of jeans. They're not gone. So this is the only jeans I have. So I gotta go shopping for some more jeans, I guess. But I mean, I looked everything. I have cabinets over here. I got this overhead. This is a bunk, and I got a bunch of stuff up there, and I got some more cab. I looked everywhere. I pulled everything out. I got a little tub thing down there, and that tub is just full of t-shirts, basically, and underwear. I mean, I pulled everything out. There's sweatshirts and sweatpants, shorts. I got shorts galore, t-shirts, socks, underwear. Everything's up there. I looked everywhere. I mean, it's just a truck. This is just a little truck, right? I mean, it's not like it's a big giant house. So it's got to be in here. They got to be in here. So I don't know. The only thing I know I didn't leave them in a hotel. I never use like the drawers and stuff and put my clothes in the drawers. I guess if I was gonna stay for a month, maybe I would do it. But I always leave everything in the bag or my suitcase. And I always check the room whenever I leave. I always have everything packed. Everything's ready to go. And then I'll walk through the room. Then I'll walk through the room again, and sometimes I'll walk before I close that door to go check out or to leave. I'll walk through that room 3 or 4 times because one time I left this iPad right here in a room, and that's a whole lucky thing that I got that back because I didn't discover it until I was out of the room and I was happened to be getting dinner breakfast in a restaurant after I checked out. And they called me and said, "Hey, are you still around? Because we found your iPad in the room." And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, I'm right here next door having breakfast." And they're like, "Okay." So I went and got it. Yeah. But, well, see that, Wes, that's the thing I was going to say. I get my laundry done at the laundromat, you know, like the fluff and fold service, I do that because, like I've said before, it's not like I'm some lazy ass. Well, maybe I'm a lazy ass, but I mean, I used to do laundry. I used to do my own laundry all the time until I started becoming a truck driver. And then when I'm home, my home time is really not very much, and I really don't want to spend my home time in a laundromat or in the laundry at the house or whatever. I really don't. Uh, so I just drop my laundry off. I've been doing this for 10, 12 years where I just drop my laundry off at a fluff and fold, and they do it, and they'll do all my laundry. You know, the prices have been going up over the years. It used to be 30, 40 bucks. Now it's like, I think the last time I paid 50 bucks or something, 45 or 50 bucks. And I usually tip them pretty good. And so the thing I was thinking is, okay, and they give you your, you know, you pick up your laundry, and I have a big giant laundry bag, a big blue one. You know, you just go pick it up, and you know, I don't really look through it to see if everything's there. I mean, it looks right. It looks like the same size or amount of clothes that I dropped off, right? So you know, you pay him, and you take your bag, and I just throw the bag in the car, and I come back to the truck. I throw the bag up in the truck. Sometimes I just throw the bag back on the bunk, and I don't even open it until I'm down the road, or it might be like the next day I start kind of unpacking it. And so if hey Bernardo Tord, you're new here. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah, we're commercial free, I guess, unless I'm talking about McDonald's or something. But so I don't know. But then now all these days have gone by. I was thinking about calling that Fluff and Fold place. I don't really have their number saved, but I know they call me, and when they tell me the laundry's ready, I guess I could go back to my calls and see if I could find their number or something. But I don't know. So yeah, it looks like we got a new person, Bernardo Tord. Thanks for being here. How'd you find the show, Bernardo? You just come across it? But or if the sex bots find us. Come on, Wes, don't jinx it. But so anyhow, I don't know if they somehow didn't pack the jeans, because maybe they had, you know, they have shirts, they have socks, they have underwear, they have all this stuff in separate piles. Maybe they didn't put the jeans in there. I don't know. But now I feel like so much time has gone by, they won't even know what I'm talking about, or they might have, I don't know. It might cause some big thing like, oh, you're accusing us of stealing your jeans, you know, or whatever. So I don't know. Jolie says Bernardo is a friend of mine from high school. Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Bernardo. Oh, you mean commercial company? Okay. Bernardo, I haven't seen commercial company in years. When I first started driving in 04, I used to see him all the time. All the Divinity Sad's in the house. Hey, Divinity, thanks for being here. Awesome. Glad you stopped by. But just to refer to what Bernardo was talking about commercial company, I'll see if maybe you guys can figure it out. I won't even say what it is. Maybe you'll figure it out. But I started driving in 04. I used to see commercial company all the time, all the way from 04 till about maybe 2010, or it was like after that recession and that the economy dumped and a lot of drivers quit driving. I don't know, a lot of drivers didn't have money. It seems like the commercial it just dried up. It just went away, and it really hasn't come back. Now I'm sure there are places around the country where you can still find them, but the places I'm pretty much 11 Western and I don't know. I just don't see them roaming around. Hardly ever. They're almost non-existent. It's kind of weird. But I know they still frequent the truck stops. Probably. I just don't see them. Not like I used to. I used to see them all the time. And there were certain places where it was like a hot spot for it, like the Ontario TA. Crawling with them. You go to the Panhandle, Amarillo, Texas. Lots to be crawling with them there. I think Oklahoma was a lot there. Just certain places where I go, there really would be more than in other places, you know. But now, like I said, I don't see them. I don't know. Maybe it's the internet. Maybe guys can just hook up on the internet or something more. And so maybe that's where they do their business now. I don't know. So, Jolie said, I was dating Bernardo when I took my gay best friend to prom. He was such a good guy. He came over and helped us get ready. Oh, cool. Wow, you guys have known each other a long time. So in case you guys didn't figure it out, commercial is basically a lot lizard. Lot lizard is basically a truck stop prostitute. Okay. Okay. Now, I used to have my CB hooked up all the time, and those first few years that I was driving, and I had my CB on, they would get on the CB, the commercial, and they'd be like, "Hey, drivers, you need some commercial company, you know," and that's another way they would hook up, was for the CB. I haven't had my CB hooked up in years and years, so I don't know if they're still on there. Like they used to be when you would go through, especially like Nevada, where they have a lot of brothels and stuff. And there were some brothels that would be relatively close to the truck stops, and they would get on the CB there a lot. And be like, "Hey, drivers, need some commercial company? Why don't you come on over to I don't know, Dottie's or whatever. I don't know." Or sometimes they say, we got limousine service, we'll drive you right over, and all this kind of stuff. But like I said, I haven't had that CB hooked up in years and years and years, so I don't even know if they still operate. But it is kind of weird how that's changed, because when I first started driving, that's all the drivers would talk about. Like even the old timers, the new guys getting into it, they'd be like, "Be careful with those lot lizards. Watch out for the lot lizards." And really for about the first year, I don't think I even saw one. And so I was thinking, this lot lizard thing is a bunch of bullshit, because I hadn't seen any in that first year. And then this one night, I just happened to park and spot it. Was up in Fresno, California, down in Fresno. And I parked on a street. It was like a side street. You know, I was like still kind of a rookie driver, or, you know, new driver. And my trip planning wasn't the best, I guess. And I kind of was like running out of hours, and I needed a place to park. I found this place. It was on Jensen Avenue, I think, or right off of Jensen. And there's like a 76 station, and they have truck fueling, and so you can go through the fuel bay, and then you kind of come around, and then there's a street. I saw there was no really truck park. There was no truck parking on that property, but on that street, that side street, I saw a bunch of trucks that were parking there. So I thought, okay, I guess this is cool. Park here in the street. So I just parked on the street. I shut down. I shut my curtains. I go back to the bunk. It was like, I don't know. I was on my computer back. I think I had a computer. Or I had some. I don't know if I had a laptop then or not. Maybe I didn't even have that yet. I think I might have had a TV. I think I had a little TV that had a little VHS thing, and I think I might have watched a movie or something, or or you could get local UHF channels. I think I watched a little TV, and then I went to sleep. I went to bed and went to sleep, and then like I don't know, a couple hours later, all of a sudden like there's knocking on my door, boom, 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 boom. I wake up, I'm like, what the fuck, man? So I get up, and someone's knocking on the passenger side, the curbside. And so I get up and I look out my window, and there's this girl, this black girl, and she's wearing this top where her very ample bosom is practically busting out, you know. So I roll down the window, and I'm like, so then I mean, at this time I'm 44 years old. I'm not like a country bumpkin or whatever. I mean, okay, I know what's going on, right? But I roll down the window and I go, so I'm just like, hey, how's it going, you know? Or I think I go like, hey, what's up, you know? And she's like, hey, you need some company? You need some commercial company? And I was just like, I think I was like, I was just looking down at her, you know. She's a very pretty girl and everything, but I was just like, oh, no thanks. I mean, I appreciate you offering or whatever. And she's like, are you sure? And I go, well, I'm just sleeping. She goes, I'll relax you and make you and all this stuff. She's kind of hustling me, she wants to make that money or whatever. But I was just like, and I was just nice to her. I was like, no, I go, no thanks, but I'm not interested, but thank you anyhow. She's like, okay. Then she walked away, so I rolled the window, and then I go back to the bunk, and it was probably like, I don't know, 20 minutes later, now there's a knocking on the other side of this door. Boom, 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 boom. And so then I get up and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I told her I wasn't interested, right? So I pulled the curtain back, and then this time it's a completely different girl. She's like this really cute blonde chick. And she was all dressed up like, she looked like, what's her face on Gilligan's Island, like the country girl, right? She had like this kind of red, kind of plaid shirt, and it was tied up, and she had like bare midriff, you know, type of thing going on. And but she wasn't wearing shorts. She was wearing really like tight jeans, you know. And she was really hot. She was actually really hot. But my first thought was like, okay, I think this might be a cop because she's too good looking, you know. But I don't know if she was a cop or not. But so anyhow, I roll down the window, and I go, and she goes, hey, you need some company tonight or something like that. And so then I went ahead and sat down in the seat, you know, and I'm just looking at her and checking her out, you know. And so I was just like, no, I go, not tonight. I'm just, you know, I'm sleepy. She's like, you sure I can give you some company? And, you know, it's kind of the same line. I can make you relax and make you sleep real good and all that kind of stuff. I was like, no thanks, but thanks anyhow. She's like, okay. So she turns around and walks away, and I was checking out her ass. She had a really nice ass. And as she was walking away, I just go, but it's not because you're not good looking, you know. And then she turned around, she just smiled at me, and she's like, you know, like thank you or something like that. And then she just walked away. I just walk away. So then I was thinking, I don't know if the first one was a cop, but I was thinking the second one might have been a cop. I don't know. But I remember that day because, and where I was at, because that was like the first time after about a year of driving that I finally was encountered by lot lizards, you know, which may or may not have been cops. I don't know. But, and then it seems like after that, I started seeing them all over the place. It's kind of like, you know, like when you buy a car and all of a sudden you start seeing the same car all over the place that like you never really noticed before, but then you buy this certain car and then you just see those cars everywhere, right? Well, now it's like I was seeing these lot lizards all over the place. But then, like I said, like around 09 or 2010, it just, that industry just dried up as far as I could see. But anyhow, I'm missing the chat. I was something about Jeannie says her ex worked the police side, catching them and soliciting, and once in the truck arrested. 1977. Yeah, back in the 70s, I heard that it was wild. That was the Wild West days, you know. Bernardo says Jolie was the most beautiful girl I ever dated. Awesome. And Julie says, I doubt that, but I appreciate the sentiment. Bernardo says, truth. All right. But, so anyhow, and that was when, I guess it was on the CB, at some truck stop, where I would hear a girl come on and start talking about commercial company. You need commercial company. And it took me a while. At first, I was like, what's that? Commercial company? And then, but, you know, like I said, I was in my 40s, so I'm not a complete idiot. I was able to put two and two together pretty quickly, but I never heard that. I never heard that term. Like, even coming up through truck school and through orientation, you're together with all these different guys, either trainers, truck who have been in the industry for a while, or new guys, and they're just getting into it. But everyone's heard all these stories, and everyone's talking about the lot lizards, and but I never had heard the term commercial or commercial company before until I was actually out on the road, and I heard them on the CB, and they would I guess set up dates on the through the CB. Bernardo says truckers should be allowed to be armed. Second Amendment. Well, I'm not sure what the rules are on that. I know if you work for a company, you know, the company will set the rules, and I think all the companies will have like no firearms rules, and then, you know, these are all private companies. You go on their property to pick up a load or to deliver a load. They have their rules, and they're entitled to have their rules about firearms, I believe. But and then once you're on the road, if you have a gun in your truck or a weapon like that, a firearm, and you're crossing state lines, I mean, I don't know what all, you know, we have all these different, we have 50 states, 48 continuous here, and they have all these different rules, laws. You know, I don't know, you might be legal in one state and not legal in another state. It's kind of confusing, so but I don't know what good buddy means. I thought good buddy just meant good buddy. So if that means something else, then, you know. But like I said, I don't really get on the CB all that much, even when I did have it on. I think I said, hey, good buddy. Maybe I was saying something that I didn't know what I was saying. So maybe you might want to enlighten me, because I just thought it meant good buddy. What's a federal trucker, Bernardo? I know, because I know there are federal truckers. There are truckers that drive for the federal government that are ex-military, and they carry Glocks, carry 9mm. They're hauling like radioactive shit. They're, you know, top level security shit that they're hauling, and I can see their trucks. I know their trucks when I see them. They're these trailers that they haul, if you try to fuck with them, it will literally kill you. They have it rigged where the fucking thing it'll kill you. And you think I'm not kidding. And those guys are carrying Glocks. But so Bernardo was a trucker. Jeannie says, somebody's good buddy meant good buddy. Yeah, to me, I just thought good buddy was like good buddy. Hey, good buddy. So if it had some other meaning, I don't know. I wish Bernardo would enlighten me, because I don't want to be saying good buddy if it means something I don't think it means. You know what I mean? Because someday I'm going to hook my CB back up, and I might get in a conversation, and I might say, "Hey, good buddy." Ken Law says, "Good buddy was a derogatory term meaning homosexual. Good neighbor is the better term to show appreciation." Yeah, well, I don't know. That never came across. And all the times that I was on the CB, if someone said "good buddy," it never came across to me as being some sort of homophobic or term or anything like that. So, federal law: truckers can't carry firearms. Yeah, I guess unless you're in that part of that U.S. government one that hauls the government loads. I mean, like high security, top security ones. But apparently there are a lot of drivers that do. At least they say they do. I've gone into a few military facilities where they actually go into your truck and they toss your truck looking for things, and I don't have guns, so I don't have to worry about it. But at the time, I did have a knife, big ass knife that I put kind of between my mattress up by the pillow, but it's kind of stuck in the mattress between the thing. And when they were searching for weapons, I forgot it, because if you have a weapon, you can disclose it, and they'll take it and they'll put it in a lockbox. That's what they told me. So that when you go in, they'll have your weapon, and you come out. Because I guess they don't give a fuck what the law is. They're just interested in that facility, right? So I didn't declare anything, because I knew I don't have a gun. I don't carry a gun. But I forgot about that knife. I forgot all about it. And so the guy comes in, and I followed him. They let me come in with them, and he's searching through everything and lifting everything up and looking through all the cabinets, looking through everything. And then I remembered about the knife, and then I was like thinking, should I say anything? Because I'm like, if I say anything, then will I get in trouble because I didn't say anything before? But if I don't say anything, and then if he does find it, I probably will get in trouble. Like, but I ended up not saying anything, and he ended up not finding it. But I remember he came really close to where that was, and I was kind of like, oh my God, that's where the knife is, And I don't know if they would. I mean, I know you're not supposed to bring it in. I don't know if that really got me in trouble, or if I would have said, "Oh, gee, I forgot that was there," and if he would have been cool about it and said, "Just take it and go lock it up or whatever." I don't know, but I remember thinking, "Oh my God, I forgot about that stupid knife." So Kenneth says that it was nice in the 1970s, but like anything else, people happen. Wes, I called both guys buddy. This is the first time I looked it up. This is Kenneth Otto. Why good buddy was no longer a nice term. I don't know. I never really heard it. Bernardo says all people should be equal. Kenneth Otto says exactly. Wes Webb says if I forgot the name of my students, I would call them buddy. I call the girl sweetie. Oh boy, I bet they love that, Wes. It seems like if I call a girl sweetie or a woman, I get the stink eye, and it's like, oh, you're like a misogynistic prick or something. Don't be so condescending. So anyhow, but as far as weapons, yeah, I know that is a big thing, and a lot of guys do. They say they carry them, anyhow, even though it's against the law. But knock on wood, I've never really had to use one, or I've never had the need to use one. I try to just park in reasonably safe areas, but you just never know. Keep the doors locked, and I don't know, if someone were to try to break in, I would just beat the shit out of them, I guess, as best as I could, even though I'm kind of old. But in tight quarters like this, I think I can still throw down pretty good. It's when you're out in the open, that's kind of the, I don't have the footwork I used to have. I think I still got some hand speed though. I can still pack a little bit of punch, but if they got a gun or something, then that doesn't matter. I can't block bullets with my fists. I mean, I could fuck my fist up. Might even go through it. So, I don't know. And hey, look, I don't want to like downplay it, because there have been drivers that have been in lots that I've been at that were murdered. Maybe not that night, but like where I just heard about it or I read about it. And I've been in those places, the exact same places where drivers got murdered. So it happens. It does happen, especially like in, what is it, Memphis? Like in West Memphis. Is it Arkansas? It's like right over the river from Memphis, Tennessee. It's West Memphis. I guess that's Arkansas, right? That is supposed to be one of the most, all those truck stops, there's like a Pilot and a TA and a Petrol, and I think there's a Love's. Those are considered, at least from the reports that I get, whenever I haven't been there in a while, but they on the back then we had a Qualcomm, and it would come through like, do not park in these areas. These are high crime areas, right? And they have Schneider had an operating center there, so I'm usually just park at the OC. There were a couple times though where I parked down at the Pilot or the Flying J or whatever, and then you heard on the news about some driver got murdered right there in that lot. So it does happen. And you hear about cargo getting stolen and all that kind of shit. So it happens. Hey, look, it happened in Las Vegas. I mean, in that lot in Las Vegas where I park my trucks, the truck and where I park my car, last Christmas, about a year ago. So I had like, I want to say like at least 2, maybe 3 trailers that I'd picked up out of there in a row that had been broken into, and where the back doors were open, and you could see some freight had been taken out. And then one of them, they called me, like the Schneider security, asked me all these questions and stuff, like they're trying to accuse me or something, but I had solid alibis. I was with my family for Christmas, but I guess they have GPS on those trailers, and so after the fact, they need something that's more like current, right? So they could do it as it's happening. But I guess after the fact, they were able to see that trailer, someone had hooked a truck up to the trailer, taken it off site, drove it a few blocks over. They opened it up, they took a bunch of shit out, and then they drove it back to the yard, and they left the door open, which is weird. I don't know, the whole thing was weird, but the point is that freight gets stolen all over the place, and sometimes drivers, they get hurt and they get murdered. That does happen. So I don't mean to downplay it, because like if I say like I don't need a gun, or I have I have my tire thumper, all that kind of shit, but good luck if there's a bunch of people with guns, So you just gotta be careful. You gotta be careful, and try to park in in a well-lit parking lot, I guess. And it'd be nice if they had security. They almost never have security, and when they do have security, those guys are assholes too, it seems like. I don't know. But Jeannie Shannon says truckers would park on the on ramp to sleep. Yep, not allowed to wake them up because of Carrie. My ex would knock on the door and step back to the side, not to get shot. Um, why would they bring what back, Wes? I kind of missed. Um, what that was. He was state police. Yeah, That's one thing. I mean, I guess over the 18 years, I think I may have stopped at an on ramp once or twice. I mean, to sleep. Like I've stopped a few times just for a few minutes if I have to make a call or if I have to check my map out or there's something I need to check out. As far as like taking a 10-hour break on an on ramp, I think I may have done it once or twice, and it's not safe. I don't recommend it. I don't like it. You just really need to do better trip planning. Because I think a lot of times guys are running out of hours and they're like, I gotta stop, and they just stop at the nearest little patch of dirt that they find, on the side of the road or something. So you need to just trip plan better, and so that you are at a good truck stop, or if you have an operating center that you work with, or if the shipper or the delivery consignee, if they have overnight parking, you just gotta do a little bit of work and a little bit of homework and a little planning, and you should be okay, Jeannie says he said he saw the end of a gun too many times. Wow, that's kind of scary. Here's the thing that I looked into a few years ago, and I think it would be legal to carry. They have a gun that just shoots like it's supposed to be a non-lethal gun. It shoots like chlorine pellets. I guess they're pellets or whatever. And I was thinking about getting that, because you pump a few rounds of that in someone's face, and they're gonna go down, right? So I remember looking that up on Amazon. You could buy one. They're not that much. I think like $80 or something like that. And you get these little chlorine. I guess it's like a CO2 type of a thing, and it has like little chlorine pellets, and it's considered non-lethal, and you can buy them. And I would think that you could carry that. It's not like a firearm. It's not a gun like that shoots bullets and stuff. So I was thinking about getting that. But it's been so many years ago. Now I got to go back and see if they still even have them. That was like 5 or 6 years ago. I remember looking into that. And you know me, I'm Mr. Procrastinator. 5, 6 years goes by, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should do that thing I was thinking about doing 5, 6 years ago. And then that company might not even exist anymore. But it looked like a cool gun, because it looked like a regular gun, but it shoots chlorine pellets. And so anyhow, I might still do that. It's that have a little thing, and if anyone were to break in while I was sleeping, I would hear. Believe me, you hear every little thing, man. Because I've been hit by other drivers, and even just little scrapes, little tiny scrape ups. It sounds like the whole truck is coming apart, and I'll jump right out of bed, and then and I'll get out and see what's going on, and so even just the littlest tap, I hear it, and it wakes me up. So if anyone was trying to get in here, I would hear it, and I would probably have. I think I would have plenty of time to get my chlorine gun out, and then I would just sit right up here, and I would just point it right here, and as soon as they open the door, blam, bullet blast them right in the face with a chlorine pellet. And then when they're crying and screaming, I'll probably put a couple more in them. Boom, 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 motherfucker. And they would be in probably extreme pain, but they wouldn't die. And then I would call the cops and say, take this motherfucker away. Tried to rob me. Anyhow, so that's the story of my blue jeans. How did we get from blue jeans to commercial company to guns and all this shit? That's the way it goes, I guess, when you talk and you just sort of meander through life things, right? So, anyhow, yeah, that was the story of my blue jeans. And I don't know if I'll ever find those blue jeans again. I'm gonna have to go shopping. God damn it, I hate shopping. And those were nice blue jeans because they were just worn in enough. I mean, where they were comfortable and they were broken in, but they weren't whole. And I'm a 62-year-old man that's gonna wear these like holy jeans. I see these old guys. They think they're still teenagers, and they're wearing these ripped jeans and they think they're cool and all that shit. Fuck that. I don't do that shit. As soon as I get a hole in it, I get rid of them. And these were just nice. They were still nice and blue. You know, they weren't all faded. I like it like that. And for all I know, they stole them and sold them to China. I heard people take blue jeans and sell them to Japan and Asia and shit. I don't know. That's where my mind goes. They stole my jeans so they could sell them to China. Motherfuckers. Julie says Vegas was fun, but I'm glad you're back in your truck. I missed the high-tech graphics. Yes, the high-tech graphics is a truck thing. See? Share. Yeah, Bernardo got us off topic there. But anyhow, so now I'm gonna have to go shopping for some jeans because I can't wear these jeans forever. I mean, my God. They're getting, and these ones are pretty faded. These are, but I like them. These are good. There's no holes in them. No holes. You know, I don't do holes, man. But they're getting dirty. So I'm gonna have to go shopping at some point and get. Now I gotta get some jeans. Hey, Mike H. Thanks for being here. Make sure that you guys hit the like button, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And hit the share button. That's an important one. Just share it, and you can share it to your, boom, right? If you want to share it to Twitter, boom. If you want to share it to Facebook, boom. There's little links there, boom. You want to share it to your Discord page, boom. You want to share it to just like some friend who you think would like the show or whatever, boom. It's really easy. So let's hit that share button. Hi, Mike H. Jeannie says, at my house, Junior was the imaginary friend that took or hid things. Junior, yeah. I don't know. But here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to buy some jeans. And then I'm going to find the others. That's what happens. But I don't know where they could be. I really don't. There's no place that I haven't looked in this truck. And I just can't. And I'm trying to think, like, when's the last time I saw them? And I thought they were in this cabinet right behind me that says share. I was just talking about sharing. But I tore everything out of there. They're not there. God, I hate it when I misplace stuff and then I'm just can't figure out where it's at and what happened to it. It's probably, I don't know. I hate to say it was the fluffer fold because now I don't know if I should trust taking stuff back there, you know, like even if they didn't steal them, but what if they're just incompetent enough where they loaded those into somebody else's bag or something, you know? But I probably should at least try to find that number and call them at least, because who knows, maybe they did load them in someone else's bag. And these are like 42-inch waist, right? Because I'm a big fat fuck. And not everyone wears 42-inch waist pants. The people that they put in that, they might all be like 30-inch waist pants or whatever. And they're like, hey, these are not our jeans. And they might have taken them back. And they might be sitting in their little office there. So I should I guess I'll try to find the number, and at least make an effort to call at least one time before it gets switched later. Mike H says, "Hell, everyone!" No, I know he meant hello, but it's like, "Hell, everyone!" Just kidding, Mike. I know that it's a typo. Or is it? So that's the tale of the wandering blue jeans. So like I said, now I'm still gonna have to go shopping. Now, I can't shop, and I don't want to Uber. I don't want to move the truck. Oh, see, there's all kinds of things. I guess I could move it. I guess I could Google where's Walmart or Target or whatever. I don't know. See, I just don't want to move the truck and everything. I like my spot. I'm going to be here because, like I said, I'm not picking up my next load till tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to be here. I'm here. I got a good spot. Well, this place really did empty out, though. Now, across from me, those guys have been there. Well, that Volvo was there last night. But that back row, it still has quite a few. But the row that I'm in, I think I'm the... Oh, there's no truck. There is one truck down there. So in this entire row... Well, there's might be another one on the other side of him. So there's only like 3 trucks in this entire row. And then the row behind me, directly behind me, is another row, and that's the reserved pay parking. That looks like that's all empty. So this place is pretty well emptied out. Walmart says, well, let's see, Gene says they make a checklist when your load comes in. That's why they charge you, then load it in your bag and check it off if you are supposed to get a copy of that list. They don't give me a list. All they do is it's a little piece of paper, they weigh it, and then they just charge by the pound, and then it just says like how many pounds it was times whatever dollar a pound or whatever, and then, or you know, and then they put the total price, and that's it. They don't. I've never seen any like itemized list of clothing or whatever, never. And I've been doing this for over 10 years, at probably 2 or 3 different places that I've gone to on a regular basis, and I've never seen any list of clothing. West Webb says Walmart doesn't have showers and a laundry. No, they don't. Nope. I mean, there might be some super Walmarts that have like a laundry mat kind of attached to it, but I don't think so. And no showers. That's different. So anyhow, but at some point here, I'm gonna have to go shopping for some jeans. And I hate shopping. I really do. I hate trying on clothes and all that shit. That's why I've been ordering my shoes online, because I remember I ordered something. What did I order? And I ordered a cap one time, and I think it was a total rip-off company. It was on, you know, if you go on Facebook or even Twitter, Instagram, you know how they have ads, and people warn you, don't order shit from there because it's a ripoff. And I ordered a really cool hat one time, and I never got it. I think I paid like, I don't know, $40 or something for it. And I never got it. And you know, and I end up procrastinating. And time goes by, and I'm like, oh, okay, just forget it. But I have ordered other things online, and that was the only one that I think I ever got ripped off on. I have ordered other things online. I'm trying to think what else. And not including Amazon, because Amazon is trustworthy, I think. But I mean, just those ads, those like Facebook ads and Instagram ads and stuff, can be kind of dicey. But I ordered these shoes. I've gotten 2 pairs, because that's another thing where, you know, it's nice, it's convenient. Like, I'm on the road, I don't feel like shopping and shit. But my shoes wear out, and I needed shoes, right? So I ordered a pair of these Fitvils. I don't know if you've seen the ads for Fitville, But I got a pair of these boots, and they're nice. They're like the skid resistant or whatever you call it. And these are really nice, and they're pretty comfortable. And I also got a pair of kind of like these little loafer things that you slip-ons I got from Fitville. And the shoes I'm wearing right now, I don't want to show them because they're a couple years old and they're really gross and dirty. But they are the most comfortable tennis shoes, walking tennis shoes, whatever. I guess they're just tennis shoes that I think I've ever had in my life. And I just ordered a new pair, but not from Fitville. Now you may have seen on Facebook this other brand. It's like soft feels. I went ahead and ordered a pair of those. If you've seen the ads, you know what I'm talking about. Here's my other Fitville. Now you can see they're gross and ugh. Sorry, I shouldn't even show that. That's more embarrassing than my jean story. But anyhow, so I trust Fitville because I've ordered 3 different pairs of shoes from them, and they've all come through, and I think they're priced pretty well, pretty good price, and I think they're well made. Probably it's all China shit, but they're well made and they're comfortable, and I like Fitville. So I do recommend Fitville if you're gonna order from, if you're ever like worried about ordering from something. I think Fitville, I've never had any problems with it, and I think they're pretty good shoes. Now I ordered from this other one, and hopefully it's a good shoe. Hopefully it's not a ripoff. Jolie says she's been ripped off once from a Facebook ad. She's so pissed. What's my inseam? My inseam is 30, I think, or 32, something like that. Why are you gonna like make me a pair of jeans, Wes? Just kidding. But so anyhow, I ordered the shoes because, you know, I can see these shoes are old and getting wore out, but I don't like to take the time to go to a store and shop. So I found it was really easy. Just go on there, you pick the shoe you want, you know, clickety click click, you make the payment, clickety click click, and they ship it out to you. And by the time I get home, it's already there. Like those shoes I just ordered, you can track the order. I don't think it was there yet, but you know, it was like on the way or something. So it's gonna be there in the next day or two, and I'm not gonna even be home. Who knows when? So for sure, by the time I get home, those shoes will be there waiting for me. So so it's convenient, and so as long as you can find a company that you trust and they're not going to rip you off by either A, just not sending the shit ever, and then make it almost impossible to find them or try to get a refund, and B, that the goods or whatever are quality, are good quality, and then you like them, right? And they fit right, and they're made well enough to at least last. Like if I buy a pair of shoes, I want them to last at least a year. But these shoes, I think I've had them for a couple of years. I don't like buying shit that's gonna just break down or wear out in like 3 months. You know, I don't go for that shit. If I buy something, I want it to last. I like to get 2, 3, 4 years out of something. And I'm not talking about just like shoes. I've got 2 years, and these are. It's time. But you know, so you want to get something at a good price that's made well enough, that's going to last, and that it fits well, and it looks good or whatever. So if you can find something like that, and then it's nice. It's nice and convenient. Let's see. Julie says yes. Make you a pair of jeans. Jeannie says, how many times do you walk around your tractor and trailer to make a mile? Oh, well, I don't know. It's 53 feet. Well, from this door to the end of the trailer, it's probably like 60 feet or whatever, or 70 feet. I don't know. I've never done that. I just walk. You know, I have my Apple Watch, and I just track my steps. Like today, I've only done. Because all I did was walk into the store and back. So that was only That was only at 1,094 steps, so, which was, according to that, not even a half a mile. So from there to the store and back was almost a half mile. If I walked to the store again then and back, that would be almost a mile. That'd be 2 trips. So if I did 4 trips, it would be about a mile. So if I did 4 trips back and forth to the store, it would be about a mile. But anyhow, West Webb, I have at least 3 pairs of jeans that you can have. One is 42 by 32 or 42 by 32. Wow, Wes, those are almost like, I think, exactly my size. I'm hoping to not be that big again. I really do want to lose weight. So that's another thing. Like, I'm always like, I'm not gonna need these jeans because I'm gonna get skinny. But then, here I am, not skinny. So what size are you down to now, Wes? Are you down in the 30s? I used to have, believe it or not, a 32-inch waist. If you guys are into watching videos, go look at one of my videos. I posted it. It's of me doing this. It's sort of like a industrial. It's when I worked with the Postal Service. It was back in, that was in 90, I think it was 1991. But, so just a little over 30 years ago. Or 90, it might have been 90. It was around 90, 91, or whatever. Look at that video. I'm wearing a red shirt and I'm standing next to we call them BBs, bonus belt. But everyone says it's bonus built, so I'm still confused on what thing's called. But if you look at that video, I'm about 30 years old, 31 years old. I got like a 32-inch waist. Those days are long gone. Wes Webb 36 or 38. Good for you, Wes. I wear a lot of elastic and drawstrings lately. Well, you know, Thanksgiving, and kind of, you kind of blow up a little bit, but get through the holidays and then just slim on down. But you guys should check out that video if you want to see a skinny trucker John with his 32-inch waist. Just go look through my video collection and you'll see the one with the red shirt, and I look like way younger. That's the one. I forget what I named the video. I don't even remember the name of it. So. Jenny says, I lose weight the slow way and it works. Eat healthy, no sweets, and no wine, no alcohol. Well, no, I'm sorry about the wine and alcohol. You know, I almost never drink wine or alcohol anyhow. So it sounds like I'm a drunk or something. I don't, but I do like to have an occasional drink. Wes says, I'm down to 185 now, back around 200. All right, Wes, get back on it, man. Don't let it creep back up on you. I don't know what your perfect weight is, but you know, try to get down to it. You were up to 235. I don't even know if I want to tell you how much I weigh. I don't even know how much I weigh. It's like when you get to a certain weight, you don't want to weigh yourself because you're like, I don't want to see that. But I do know the heaviest I ever was, I believe, I guess, was a few years ago, probably like 2 or 3 years ago. I guess it would be just, like 2.5 years ago. I was up to like 333 pounds or something like that. And that was when I went in to do my, because we had, at that time I had to do my physicals every 2 years to get, because when you're a truck driver you have to get a physical and you have to get your medical card, right? Every 2 years, recertified. And I went in to do that, and that was like almost 3 years ago, I guess. And I was weighed over, it was over 330, it was like 333 or something like that. And then that was for the first time in all these times I've been doing physicals, where they're like, all these red lights go off, red flags go off with them, and then they start checking me for like my neck size and my tonsil size and all this kind of shit. And then they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to take a CPAP test or whatever, because I think you're gonna have to go on a CPAP machine. So I went and did all that. That was in April. I think COVID had started already, so I think it was 2020, right? I always forget if it's 2019 or 2020. I think it was 2020. And I took the sleep test and all that, and they're like, yeah, you're going to have to go on a CPAP. So then I've had to go on a CPAP. And so then I was trying to lose weight. And because I thought if I lose weight, maybe I can be taken off the CPAP machine. But and also because I don't want to be 330 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall, 330 pounds. That's not a good ratio. But I did lose weight. I got down to, the last time I checked, I did get down to like, I want to say it was like 283 or something like that. So I think I lost like 50 pounds. But then I'm almost certain I've gained some. I might even be over 300 again. I don't know. Like I say, I don't want to know because I hate it, right? But I'm pretty sure I went down to 283. I'm almost pretty sure I might have gained 20 pounds or something. So I'm not where I was at the 330, but I might be back around that 300 fucking mark, which is crazy. And because now I know we get older. I'm not going to be the 32-inch waist guy I was in that video that you guys should go look at. You know, I'm not going to be like I was when I was 30 or 28 or whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to be 330 pounds either, right? So, and I used to play football. I played football in high school and college and all that kind of stuff. And I loved playing football, and I would get in shape for football, and I'd work out for football, so that when football would start, I would be about 240 pounds. But then you have Hell Week, and then you got another week of conditioning and pads and getting the pads. You've got 2 or 3 weeks before the actual season starts. And by the time I was in season, my game shape, my hitting, what I called hitting shape and fighting shape, I guess, was like 225. That's when I felt the best. Around 225, 230. That was my playing weight, man. And every year, it seems like high school, college, semi-pro, that was my weight, man. That was my weight. Even though I was going against guys, because I was a lineman, and I was going against guys that were usually 4 or 5 inches taller than me, a lot of times 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds heavier than me, but I held my own, man. I could hold my own. So that was my playing weight. But then when I stopped playing, because I played semi-pro and stuff to my mid-20s or whatever, late 20s, then I stopped playing, and then I started getting into running, because I didn't want to just stop playing football and then blow up, right? So then I started getting into running, and I would run 5Ks, and then my goal was to do like 10Ks, and then I wanted to do half marathons and then marathons. I never got that far. I ended up quitting running, but I was running for a few years, and that's when you see that video of me. That was my running years, and I got down to like, at one point for me, I got down to 180 pounds, and I looked really like anorexic. There's pictures of me that I think I look like horrible. And for some people, if you're 6 feet tall, if you look at the chart, those charts, 6 feet tall, they say you're supposed to be like 170 or 175. I got down to 180, and I looked like I was, you know, some sort of, I don't even want to say the term, but just some sort of, you know, concentration camp victim or whatever, you know. So for me, even if I'm not playing football and I'm not bulked up and I'm not lifting and stuff, I found that my kind of perfect weight, I think, is probably around 200, 205, maybe 195, 195 to 205. That's probably where I think I look the best, you know. And in that video, I was probably about, I don't know, I was probably about 190 or 195, you know. And that was not playing football. That was just being a runner and shit. So now, okay, let's say I'm 290 or I'm 300. I don't even know. I'm probably around 300. There was a few years ago, it was when my dad died, and I lost a bunch of weight. I guess it's like depression or something. This is like 10 years ago. Because I really wasn't dieting, but I lost a bunch of weight. I remember I got down to like, I want to say like 260. And I look at pictures of me, and I actually look skinny. I mean, it's funny how like I see that picture of me at 260, and that was way heavier than I ever was in high school or in college or in my 20s or my 30s or even my 40s, whatever. That's way heavier. But I look at that picture of me at 260. It's so funny how things are kind of relative, you know, like when you go around at 300 for a few years and you get down at 260, you look skinny, even though that's way, still way overweight. So anyhow, I'm still gonna try to lose some weight. I know I eat shit. Like just now, I had with my breakfast, I had this Danish thing. How you gonna lose weight doing that, right? So I try to, but I do have a calorie counter, and I try to count calories. And you know, I just need to not sabotage myself with you know, this crap that I eat. But anyhow, I'll get it. I'll get it done. I'll get her done. So West Webb had to stop drinking beer, and as well made me lose the weight, plus depression. Yeah, that depression, that's a biggie. I really don't drink beer all that much, even though I like beer. I had a beer, you know, in Vegas I had a couple beers here and there, but I think the main thing for me is just like sweets and like donuts and danishes and shit like that, or extra, like having a full meal and then having a little bit, like having a bagel with cream cheese after I had a full meal. I don't need the bagel and cream cheese. I already had you know, eggs and bacon and toast and shit. So, you know, it's those little things that you add on. It's those extra 300-400 calories that you add on that if you didn't, then that would probably make the difference, you know, in taking you from calorie deficit to calorie surplus, you know. So anyhow, that's that and that is the story of my blue jeans. Once again, no, Jeannie, I can't lose beyond a certain weight. Too, I have a trainer. Wow, I don't weigh in. I do it by clothes and how they fit. The trainer thing. You have to be careful, or they will overwork you. Yeah, I need a trainer. I need a trainer to yell at me and bark at me. Come on, Fowler! Whenever I walk up a stair or something, I flash back to like when I was in football, and we used to run in full gear up a hill like this steep of a grade, and do hills over and over and over again. We do 70, 80, 90 of those motherfuckers. And we had this coach, Willie Pringle, God rest his soul. He died a few years ago, passed away. But man, I mean, he was a guy, this big old guy. He was like, you know, he was like a drill sergeant, right, that you see in the movies or something. But he was a great guy, you know, and everybody loved him. But man, I always flash back to that. If I get a little bit winded walking up a hill, like the other day, I stayed at the Sunnyside Hotel again the other day, and I parked down at the bottom of the hill, and you have to walk up this hill to get to the hotel. and I was carrying my bag, and I was carrying my, my little bag and my little carry-on thing, and I was actually getting kind of winded, just walking up this kind of a steep hill, but it's like, what is it, 70, 80 feet kind of long, and but I flashed back to Willie of Willie going, "Come on, Fowler! Come on, Fowler! Keep it going! Don't you quit on me, Fowler! Don't you quit on me! Come on, Fowler! You're gonna make CIF this year! Come on! You're gonna be all league! Come on! You think you're gonna be all league if you can't make a hill? Come on! All that kind of stuff." And then so that kind of it's funny that flashback that it helps me to climb the hill today at 62 years old. I'm like, because I'm thinking, God damn it, if I can't make this hill, after all those hills I did 40 years ago or whatever, come on, one little hill, Fowler. You can't make one fucking little hill. Come on, Fowler, don't be such a fucking pussy, So anyhow, that's what I flash back to. I think about my old football days. Whenever if I get a little bit tired or something, I'm like, fuck, come on, man. You could do this. Think of all those pop-ups Coach Hook made us do. We would do 200, 250, 300 pop-ups. And for those who don't know, pop-ups are you jog in place, they blow a whistle, you jump down to the ground, and you pop back up. And then you jog, and every time they blow a whistle, you do that over and over again. And literally, we would do that like 200-300 times. If I did one right now, first of all, I probably would break something, but I'd probably break my arms or something. But I just flash back to that shit, and all the wind sprints we would do. Literally, we would do hundreds of wind sprints in one practice, in one session. And so I whenever I feel a little tired, I feel like I can't make, if I feel like it's a little hard walking or whatever, I just flash back to that, and I just kind of push myself and say, God damn it, Fowler, you can't walk up this little tiny grade, you can't take these little steps here, come on. Don't be such a pussy, Fowler. So I can thank all my old football coaches for, I guess, getting me through my old age now. I don't know. Westweb said he had a trainer too. And Jolie says, I can't have anything with sugar in the house. I'll leave it all. I'm a sugar addict. Yeah, I think I am too, Jolie, because I'm always eating sweet shit. If anyone in the family buys them anything sweet, they are under strict orders to hide it from me. Yeah, I know. I think I'm a sugar addict. Jeannie says, Jolie, that's your adrenals causing that. Westweb left line, I stopped going to the gym, then I stopped giving them my money, laughing out loud. Westweb, $20 a month to go 5 times a year. Oh, yeah, you should go more. Get your money's worth. Jeannie says, I gave up the gym thing too. My trainer is one-on-one. Yeah, I need to start working out, man. Get back in my football playing shape. Now, those days are done. Those days are long gone, but still, I want to lose some weight. But anyhow, so I would like to get down, like, what could I get down to? Like, okay, so at 260, I looked skinny. If I got to 260, I'd be really happy, but, I mean, I don't know if I could ever get down to like 200 or 195 again. I don't know if I could do it. It's hard to imagine, like, because I've been at this weight kind of a long time now, like 20 years. Or not this weight, but I've been overweight, like, because it was gradual, like, it's like I was 200 and just started going up from there, and then next thing I know, I'm 300, 330. Can you imagine 330 pounds on a 6-foot frame? And I'm not a bodybuilder or whatever, and not a weightlifter. It's not muscle. Can you imagine that? But so even in my, because I've always battled with weight though. As a kid, growing up, and in junior high and high school, even my 20s, I was always up and down, up and down, up and down. I'd be fat and chubby, and then I'd be kind of more lean and in shape, and I was always was going up and down. And but even on my worst days in my like 20s, um, I don't think I ever got over like 240 or 245 or whatever. So just think, if I got down to 240 or 245 now, I'd be ecstatic. And people would see pictures of me, and they would probably think I weighed even less, because I do think that I carry weight a little bit better, maybe, or a little bit, like, I think maybe I don't look as heavy as I am. And I'm not trying to say, like, I'm not trying to be in denial and like, okay, I know I'm fat and I look fat. I know I look fat, but I think that I don't maybe look as heavy as I am, maybe, you know? Like if someone said, if I said guess my weight, they might say 250 or 260, but I'm really like 280 or 290, you know what I mean? So if I got down to 240 or 245, people would probably think I was like 220 or 225, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But so if I could get down, but I guess the point is, if I can get down to that weight, and that was like my heaviest weight, you know, up in those days in my 20s. I never got more than, I think, 240. I think, to be exact, I think 244 was my highest ever. And hey, Benny Loco, all right. Happy Tuesday. Julie says, I'm taking you to the fair, John. Oh yeah, for the weight thing, yeah. And they guess your weight. I think I have done that, and I stump them. Yeah. What's if you can still fit in 42 waist jeans, at least still have a waistline. Does John read the chat? Well, I am reading it now, Benny Loco. I try to keep up on it. Sometimes I miss stuff though. Jean says you should be checked for insulin resistance. And Benny Loco says, yep, there he is. Hi, Benny Loco. And then Julie says yes, and Wes Webb is, I guess that's a virtual hug. I guess that's, I'm figuring that out. John does read his chat. Benny Loco, waistlines were not designed to be wasted. Okay. Yeah, waistline. Yeah, I get it. Oh, man, I'm out of coffee. You know what that means? Time to buy me a coffee. No, I'm just kidding. So anyhow, good to see Benny Loco in the chat. I'm up here in good old virtual Hue. I know you mean hug. So yeah, Benny Loco up here in Tumwater, Washington, which is up by Olympia, about 60 miles south of Seattle. And it's basically your basic kind of cold, drizzly day. Let me wipe the windshield here. It was actually snowing when I got up this morning. It was actually snowing a little bit. We got about 1/8 of an inch of snow. Now it's pretty much melted off, but you can see a little bit of snow in the field there. But it's kind of drizzly and rainy and cloudy and cold and damp. Typical kind of Washington, I guess. If we want to do a little thing here, we can. I can move the camera around. Just this is the beautiful parking lot, and just beyond those trees, you see those cars buzzing by? That is Interstate 5, which runs all the way from, you know, as you know, basically San Diego, all the way to the Canadian border, all the way through Washington State, all the way to Canada. So that's where I'm right next to the Interstate 5. And here it is. Getting rained on again here. So that's where I'm at. This beautiful parking lot. I'll be here till tomorrow, people. Make sure you tip your waiters. Wes says it's 53 and cloudy. Let's see, what temperature have I got as I look at my old Apple Watch here? This says it is 34. And the low will be 28. Now it says, this is how inaccurate these things are, because it says it has like a little snow icon, and it's not snowing. It's barely even raining right now. But anyhow, so that's where I'm at. Look at all these weird pits on my steering wheel. How does that get there? How does that happen? It's not like I'm like, you know, I'm not like digging my fingernails into it. Although now I did. How the hell does that happen? So anyhow, Jeannie says 50 and sunny, tornadoes in Louisiana. Oh yeah, I did see a notice my Weather Channel thing about the tornadoes. So be careful. Are you down there? I forget, Jeannie, where you're at. I thought you were in Illinois or something. But anyhow, wherever you're at, be careful. Jolie says 62 and sunny in Indiana. You guys are getting sunny. So now we're getting like snow and stuff. I don't know if this weather front's going to go all the way across. It might be in your yard there, Jolie, in a couple days. Benny Local, that's where the aliens probe your steering wheel. Oh, the aliens, yeah, because they need to know what's in there. Those darn aliens are really inquisitive. Virginia, oh yeah, Jeannie's in Virginia. So yeah, hopefully those tornadoes don't come up that way. West Webb, the holes might vent air pockets. Yeah. I don't know. It's a foam wheel cover. I need to, I've always wanted to get like a steering wheel cover, you know, like a fancy one, like one of those, and then I could be like, I don't know, Steve McQueen or something. But anyhow, Jeannie says, pray for farmers. Okay. Yeah, I hope the farmers do good. I hope they don't get their crops blown away in a tornado, because that would be bad. That would be a bad thing. Anyhow, I gotta drink some water. That coffee has dehydrated me, I think. All right, so here we are. Continuing the story of the jeans, the blue jeans. No, the blue jeans story is over. I think we've exhausted the blue jeans story. Or you will be eating crickets. Oh yeah. Although I heard that those are good sources of protein. But yeah, let's send out our good thoughts and best for the farmers to get those crops in and get the right amount of sun and rain and nutrients into the ground and have those bumper crops. So yes, farmers are important for sure. We take it for granted. I know we take so much stuff for granted, right? We just go to the store, we get the food, and a lot of times we don't even think where the food came from. So yeah, thank the farmers, because I don't want to eat crickets. I really don't. It's a good source of protein, but really I don't want to eat crickets. I'm sorry. Okay, unless I really had to. And I forget, Gene, are you I think we may have talked about farming before. Are you doing farming now, or I forget. West Web, I stopped growing food. I need to start again. Do you have like your own little garden in your own little personal garden there, West? What did you grow? Jeannie, active. So what are you farming, Jeannie? Are you farming? If you don't mind me asking, I'm just curious because I remember when I first started driving a truck in '04, I was just amazed at how much corn we grow. Now I think it's changed since then, but in '04 and through 2012 or whatever, I felt like the entire country that wasn't developed and built up was just full of corn. I never saw so much corn in my life. It was amazing. It was between corn and cotton. That was all I saw, and then cattle grazing. Kinky Streets, is it over? Sorry, I missed it. Kinky Streets, no, we've been waiting for you, bud. I've been 106 minutes now, and I was like, God damn it, I'm not quitting this show until Kinky Streets gets here. So now it's over. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's not over, but the party's just started now that Kinky Streets is here. Thanks, Kinky. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Like, don't like, but hit something. Hit a button. Gene says the government is wanting to stop corn. I think they've cut down on it, because when I first drove, it seemed like every state, every place was growing corn, and now I don't see as much of it. Although there still is a lot. But Julie says, "Hey, Kinky Streets, West Web. I have a half an acre. I used to have peppers and tomatoes. Now I am only a half mile from a summer market farmer that has better quality." You know what? You should grow carrots, because after I got divorced back in the early '90s, mid '90s, I roomed up with another guy. I used to work at the post office, and I was rooming up with a guy from the post office I knew, because I needed a place to stay. I was getting divorced and all that kind of stuff, right? And he lived out, is in the desert. Well, I lived out in the desert, but in his backyard, he planted carrots. And then I guess he grew them, and then it was time to harvest them. He pulled them out, and he had his big giant boxes of carrots. And I'm not really like I'm not really a carrot guy. I was never a person that just go around eating carrots. But I didn't hate carrots. I mean, carrots. I'm not. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll eat carrots if it's in a dish or whatever. But then when you have a guy who grows carrots and there's like a whole giant boxes full of carrots, you're going to start eating carrots, right? And so you take them. I'd wash them off. We'd wash them and stuff, and then just eat them raw. And I got to tell you, and these were freshly picked out of the ground, just picked, but washed. These were like candy. I mean, these were like the sweetest goddamn carrots I've ever tasted in my life, and I've never tasted a carrot as good as those carrots ever again. I mean, there was something about those carrots that I was just like, this is good, man. I must have ate 100 carrots. I don't know. I mean, I never ate so many carrots in my life, then or since or whatever. And those were like freshly picked out of the ground and delicious. And he didn't know what he was doing. He just planted some seeds in his backyard just to see if he could grow something. And they grew, and they came out great. So anyhow, the carrots were great. So you can try those. Kinky Streaks, okay, still going. Carrots are so cheap to buy. But I mean, okay, try this experiment. Plant a row of carrots, grow them, and when they're ready to be harvested or whatever, pull them out of the ground. Go buy some carrots. Just go buy a little thing of carrots at the store, or at wherever you get them, and then do a taste test. and just see if the ones that you just pulled out of the ground, if they taste better than where you buy them. Now, if you're buying them at this little country market place, then it might be the same because But anyhow, I don't know. But you don't have to plant carrots. You can plant whatever you want. But I think it's fun. It's fun to plant something. It is kind of fun. I've never really done it. I've never really grown stuff, but it seems like it'd be fun. Kiki Street says in the Northeast you can grow anything. Plenty of rain, good soil. West Webb, Illinois is the same. Kiki Street, it's the same. Jolie, there used to be a commercial when I was a kid. The jingle was, "There's more than corn in Indiana. Indiana Beach." They played all the time. Oh yeah, those Indiana beaches. Nothing beats that. West Webb, beans got so cheap that the farmers stopped growing them. Corn became the only way to make any money. Yeah, there was so much corn. So much corn. Oh my God, the corn. It was everywhere. Literally everywhere. I mean, any little patch of land someone could find, they were growing corn on it. But like I said, it doesn't seem like it's as much as it was back when I first started driving back in 04, 05, and then into 08, 9, 10. And I'd go cross country. I was doing a lot of cross country from 08 probably through, I don't know, probably just before the pandemic. But anyhow, but those years, 08 through 2012, it seemed like there was just corn everywhere. Jeannie says, yes, but corn has to be sprayed and fertilized. Doesn't everything though, just about? I'm not a farmer. So. West Webb, the farms use so much fertilizer today that if you get some rain, you can get much higher yields than ever before. With the new hybrids. Ginny, we feed silage. I do not know what silage is. I'm sorry. Kiki Street's #1 source for hops for beer is Northeast. Really? Oh, really? I'm just joking with you, man. Jenny says, not like corn. Yeah. So, this is the agricultural portion of the show. Today's agricultural report. I used to get those on the radio a lot. Like, when I first started driving, I noticed, stuff I never really listened to, but when you go through certain parts of the country, like Kansas and Nebraska, they actually have radio shows that are just basically dedicated to ag reports, and so you're getting all of the futures, stock market type stuff on was it pork bellies and hog bellies or whatever, and you would actually get, especially during the summer, you would get like the death count of cows and cattle and livestock, because that was part of, I guess, the futures commodities, like, hey, a bunch of these cows are dying, and that's a normal cost of business. I mean, they know that so many are going to die out there in the heat, and then by giving those reports, they can know if, okay, we got a really extreme heat wave and there's more dying than usual, or they can tell it's about the same, it's about normal, whatever. So that's stuff that just as being not really a farmer or a rancher, I never really thought about before, but they have these ag reports on the radio. At least they used to. Now I usually don't listen to over-the-air radio too much, but I'm just doing a little house cleaning here. and coming from, you know, California, I know our San Joaquin Valley and Central Valley is a big ag place, but you know, I grew up in the desert and we weren't really, you know, there wasn't a lot of, well, there's some farming. It's mainly just alfalfa and hay, but you know, there's not radio stations just dedicated to the ag reports, you know, like they are in Nebraska and Kansas and places like that. So that's one thing, like trucking sort of opened my eyes, or at least exposed me to new things, like of how places are different in the United States when you go across country. There are these different kind of ways of life, you know, very different, you know. So West Webb said lots of corn around here, either used to make alcohol or sugar or corn syrup. Yeah, a lot of corn syrups, or to feed cattle. Yeah, a lot of it, the non-sweet corn or whatever, that goes into cattle feed. And then of course the corn syrup and stuff. Yeah. Jolie says, Indiana Beach commercial. I urge you all to watch it so it can play repeatedly in your head for the next week. Oh, thanks, Jolie. You want to inflict that on us? West Webb, the older you get, the higher prices seem, but now you can afford them. Oh, because you have more money than when you were a kid or whatever. Or a younger person. Yeah, I guess that's how it works. Just watching the truck. So a guy truck just pulled in next to me, and I got another truck over there. So maybe it's like lunchtime or something. Oh shit, it's 11. So yeah, I gotta plug in my Apple Watch. It's almost dead. I got this new thing. I had a what I do? I threw it up top. I had an old cell phone mount thing, and it was kind of breaking, and I have to use this. This is like a little bracelet thing I got for getting vaccinated. It says like band together, and I was using that to hold my phone on, because it was the little things that kind of held the phone in had broken and stuff. So last night I have so many points that I went ahead and bought this thing. So this is cool. It's a cup holder. It has like USB over here, and it has like the 12-volt one here, and there's another one back there. I don't have it really plugged in right now. You can see it's just sitting here, because I kind of like this. I actually kind of like this one better than this one. It just seems easier, because I did plug it in and tried it, but I kind of like this. Just seems easier for me to access. So this is, and I just bought this one when I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago, and because I can plug in my one is for my Bose speaker. This is for like the phone. It's kind of coming apart, and then this is for my dash cam. But anyhow, but this thing is in here. Oh, it fits pretty good, and it's got this thing here. It's all adjustable, and then these are really cool. You know, you can just put it in there, and you just clamp it down, and you can also turn it. I don't want to do it right now because I think I have it kind of locked down. But anyhow, this thing is like $50, believe it or not. But I had so many points on my rewards card thing from Pilot and Flying J. I just use points, so that's cool. That's why I like to save up my points, so that if I see something like that, because I really don't want to spend $50 on something that, because I've bought these kind of things before. Like this one seems to be a really good one, but it seems like they always break and anything. So if I use points, then I don't feel so bad. You know what I mean? Wes says, I've been to Indiana many times, laughing out, but the roller coaster made me smile, Joey. What's what? No wonder your battery goes dead. Well, you know, you gotta plug shit in, Wes. You know, I'm on the road. Kiki Straits, why did Apple stop using the magnet AC connection for its laptops? The magnetic AC connection. I don't know. I really don't see. Julie says, right? Hey, West Web. But this all gets unplugged at night when I'm parking for the night, Wes. FYI. I have a refrigerator over here. I unplug that at night. It's not even plugged in now. Most of the shit is just always just plugged in when I'm driving. So the batteries were 7 years old. Those auxiliary, I had to replace all my auxiliary batteries. Cost me $2,300. Those were like 7-year-old batteries, so it was time. You know, it wasn't because I have this thing plugged in. This draws very little power. West Web says, my old MacBook still has Mankind, Kiki Streets with magnet connection. I never had it for breaking my MacBook or connection. West Web Love Loud, not worried about you, John. You are a smart guy. Well, I don't know about that. Kiki Streets, I have MacBooks with magnet, but a new one, they don't come with it anymore. Dumb. I do remember that. I do remember that magnetic. Because I don't think I ever had it, but my kids had MacBooks, and I remember that. It would just boom. Kiki Streets, I have 2 old MacBooks with magnet. Yeah, yeah. That's what my kids used to have. I remember those. So they don't make them anymore, huh? Well, you know, I used to like to watch DVDs and stuff on my computers. Try finding a laptop or something that has a DVD player on it anymore. That's like a thing of the past. Everything's all streaming now, which I guess is better. I guess, you know, but I don't know. I kind of like DVDs and stuff. But okay, move on, John. Move on. Streaming is actually kind of really convenient. You don't have to lug around a bunch of shit. You can save it and just play it. So, but I remember the evolution of entertainment in a truck has changed so much just since I've been driving. And like I said, in 04 there really wasn't any streaming. There wasn't trying to get just basic internet was hard, and you really felt like when you went on the road, like you were just out, like all by yourself. It was actually kind of weird and lonely and dark, you know, some places. And I remember I brought I think a 13-inch screen TV that had the built-in VHS player, and I brought that with me, and I could plug it in, waste my battery. And I would bring VHS movies. So that's how long I've been doing this. It was like I was actually back in the VHS movie days still. And then from there I upgraded to, I don't know if it was a 13-inch or maybe it was a 19-inch TV that it was a DVD player built into it. So then I did that for a few years. And then I got a laptop probably like in 2010 or something, and it could play DVDs on the laptop. And then trying to get any type of like downloading movies on it was a bitch. It was still hard. It really didn't start getting better until the last, I don't know, I guess 5 or 6 years. Netflix started getting better and streaming and all these different services. So over the last 4 or 5 years or so, you don't need any of that. You don't need VHS, you don't need DVDs. And Wi-Fi is a lot more prominent, and even cell service if there's no Wi-Fi. And it's just so much better. It's just amazing how in just the 18 years or so that I've been driving, of how it's evolved. Like just for having a in-truck entertainment has evolved so much, and you don't feel so isolated and alone. Like really, when I first went out, you know, I was like 40, I guess. like 44, 45 years old. I was a grown-ass man. But I remember being out in the middle of Utah, in the middle of Wyoming, and just hearing the wind howling, and it was kind of lonely. It was really kind of weird, you know. And but now having I think the internet, there are still places in Wyoming where it's hard to get internet, but most places, I say 90% of the places that you go to, you can still get pretty good internet service, and you can still get at least your social medias. You know, I've got all the social media. I got all the streaming services. I got every single one of them. I got Hulu and Netflix and Disney Plus and HBO Plus, or whatever they call it, HBO Max, I guess. Amazon Prime. I've got all of them, and I got DirecTV on my computer, so I can watch news. I can watch TV shows, just regular TV shows, you know. So it's really come a long way in the 18 years that I've been driving, and it does make it a lot more bearable and a lot more kind of normal. Like it's almost like before you really felt like you were out on the road and gone, and you were just, you know, out there by yourself. But now it is almost like this is like a home. This is like my home. This is my home basically, and I got everything I need really. I mean I don't have bathrooms in here. I have to go into this truck stop, but you know, it's come a long way. It's a lot better now with the technology and how it's improved so much. Jolie says that she misses going to movie stores to rent movies. It was always fun, everybody picking out a movie. I know, that was fun. Going to Blockbuster, and we had like Hollywood Video, and then we even had like just a no-name one down the street that a guy opened. It was next to the what was it, Albertsons Market. They had the guy opened a little video store, and we used to rent from there. And yeah, it was fun. And you get some microwavable popcorn, and you get some, you know, buy some Kit Kats and some Hershey bars, and bring home some Pepsis, you know, and we would go and have movie night. Yeah, that was fun. Those bring back good memories of me and the kids and our movie nights. Keisha says an audio jack. Both, because something up here. Yes, both we have USB connections on it too. It came with need to do 2-hour plus update max on turning into PCs. Laughing out loud. Wes, I was disappointed my new Galaxy phone didn't have an audio jack. Had to get a new set of earbuds. Wow, doesn't have an audio jack. West Webb, I have some favorite wired earbuds. Can't use them with any phone. King Streets, I got an iPhone 13 I own, and I pay upfront $300 per year for AT&T Good Music. Canada and Mexico, $25 per month. Can't complain. I need a new phone. My phone is all. I dropped it. I had a really nice case for it, and I took that out for some. Oh, because the case started like coming apart or something. So I just took it out of the case, and that was like 6 months ago maybe. But it still has those screen protectors on it. Or I say protectors like there's more than one, because I thought, I don't know, I'm thinking there's more than one. It might only be one, right? One clear sheet. And that thing is really protected, because I've dropped this phone, and I know, you can see the cracks. This screen is all cracked and broken, and I just dropped it the other day. It's because, for one thing, without the case, these iPhones are slippery as fuck. They're like little fucking eels or something. I mean, you cannot set that on your leg and expect it not to fall off. The back side of these iPhones are like ice or something. Like I'm just trying to think of something slippery ice. It's not, whatever. Yeah, it's slippery. And then here's something: if you're ever wearing a jacket like this, don't put your phone in this pocket, because you think that it would be I don't know, deep enough to hold the phone. But I've had it in this pocket. It's usually when I'm getting up in the truck or something. I think it's happened 2 or 3 times. The goddamn phone will fall right out, And I've been lucky where it's landed on the back. Because if it would have landed on the face, I'm sure it would have just crushed it. But it landed on the back, and it's still, uh, it still has a bunch of cracks on it. If I hold it in a certain light, you'll see all the cracks. So this phone is it's no good. These phone no good. So, and plus it's old. It's a 10, I think. I think it's the 10, the X or whatever. So I definitely need to. I've been wanting to get the new. Was it 13, right? So that's another thing I need to order. Is a new phone. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in. Waste my battery. So yeah, the King Streets and West are talking about galaxies and phone iPads and stuff. Always put the screen film on to protect it. So I think now this might be crazy. You could call me crazy. When I get my new phone, I'm definitely going to put the screen film, because I think that really helps a lot. But I'm not going to buy a case. I don't like the case. I'm just going to be extra careful and know that these phones are slippery as fuck and you can't just lay them around anywhere. Because I think they're pretty. I think they're really pretty. And when you put the case on it, you can't see the prettiness. And I like how they're so, without the case, I like how they're so, they're thin and they're not all big and bulky. You put the case on it, it's this big, ugly, bulky thing. So I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna buy a case. And the cases are like $50, so fuck that. But I will put the clear screen thing on it, because that does protect it a lot. 14 is the new one. Well, I'm gonna get the 14 then. I'm gonna get the newest one, and then I'll probably, because like I've had this one for like, whenever the 10s came out, was it been 3-4 years? So I'll get the newest one, and then I'll just keep it for 3 or 4 years probably, or longer. If I don't just drop it, I'll keep it for 5 years. Rinky cases are thin. Case was $14. I have a very thin case. Okay, well, I don't like your cases. No, I'm sure your cases are fine, but I'm not getting a case. I'm just not going to do it. Screw it. Breaks it breaks. I like the way it looks without the case. My wireless, Kiki says my wireless charging works through case. Oh yeah, that's right. If you have wireless charging, that could be an issue. Jolie, same. Westwood, my kids made fun of me because my S5 was so old. Westwood, we are definitely kindred spirits, Jolie. I hate Samsung. I'll never go back. I had a Samsung Galaxy 3, I think it was. It was a piece of shit. I was so mad at it that I broke it. I karate chopped it into pieces because I'm so mad. I went to iPhone, I think 7, and I never looked back. Then I'm sorry, I'm not going back. I like iPhones. I think the quality is better. I like everything about my iPhone. It's better. And I've never really been a Mac person. I've always had like Android stuff for computers. I might go to a Mac, but but I've heard that for like live streaming and stuff, and if you want to do a little bit more advanced live streaming than what I'm doing with this iPad, that the Androids are better for that. So I might be looking for like a gaming computer, a laptop computer, but it'll probably be Android. King Streets, I had LG V35, it was great, but Wi-Fi and cell connection broke. Super thin phone too. Yeah, LG. I'm just gonna stick with iPhone when it comes to my phones. King Streets, you meant MSFT computers, not Droid. Oh, what did I say? Did I say Android? Yeah, I guess I meant like Microsoft. Yeah. I always think that Mac and iPhones go together, and PCs and Android go together. Microsoft, yeah.
I had S3 until the S5 came out. That one was so good. I had it for years. Just had to replace the battery and it got the point I had to buy the batteries online because it was so old. Yeah. Upgrade, Jolie. Come on. What's the new one that like it folds and bends and it does all kinds of pretty things? Get that one. Upgrade. But I'm not going back. But it's funny. Have you seen the commercial where the girl's like, she's like me, right? She's like her friend shows her new Samsung, and then she's like, oh, I like my phone, and they're obviously talking about iPhone. I don't, and she's like, and then she has like nightmares and all that kind of stuff. That's funny. Whenever I see that commercial, it reminds me of me because that's what I say. I'm like, I'm never leaving my phone. But I am never leaving. But never say never because then you usually do. King Streets haven't bought a new Microsoft operating system computer in over 15 years. Wow. Jolie, and when the charger port went out on it, I got something you just put on the battery so I could wirelessly charge it. All right. Jeannie Shannon, I have a Galaxy S5. Okay, all right. West Webb, I had flip phone for years, Android chocolate. Then went straight to S5, now straight to S22. That is the one with the models that you can fold. They look really cool on the commercials and stuff, but I like my phone. You know, it's like when you get something you like and you trust it, you stay with it. It's like those shoes, those Fitville shoes. Although I did buy those soft feels ones, so I don't know. I should have stuck with Fitville because I like Fitville. Jeannie Shannon says, not Mount Son. I think it's my son. Has an S20. King Street's iPhone 14 costs the same as 13 did. Yeah, I know, Jeannie. You meant mine. Jolie, my kids have only had iPhones. See, I'm still getting my kids, guys. I still get their phones. My son just turned 25 and my daughter 23. I've been buying them their phones since they were at least in high school, maybe junior high. I think not till high school. And I kind of made a deal like, yeah, I would put you on my plan, so we're all on my plan, and the plan was like, if you're going to school, going to college and stuff, I'll pay your phone. And they're both still in college. COVID kind of fucked their college up a little bit, and well, my son, I think, he kind of was out for a little bit, and he's back, and my daughter, she's back in school. So they're both in school full time. So I guess I'll just keep buying their phones. I don't care. You know, that might be their Christmas present. New iPhones. They never watch my YouTube videos, so I'm not really afraid of them. So why am I whispering? I don't know. But I am whispering just in case. Even though they never watch my videos. But I think, yeah, like I said, I might get them iPhones for Christmas this year. King Street's Jolie says they've tried to convert me. King Street's the same. Apple has better security. Well, that's what too. Yeah, I always heard that too. Jeannie says I take care of my daughter's iPhone. West Webb says my dad paid for my phone until he went into the nursing home. We had a family plan. That's probably what's going to happen to me. I'll be in the nursing home. I'll be like, all right, kids, I'm on a really tight budget here, so could you pay for my phone? Jolie, we do too. Mine are 24 and 21. We buy their phones and pay for their phone plans. But it's unlimited data for $100 and 4 lines. Wow, that is a good deal.
That is a good deal because mine comes to like, I want to say mine comes to like 284 or something like that. But I'm the one using all the data. I always go over on my data because it says unlimited, but we all know it's not really unlimited because when you go over, I think it's like, I don't know, 20 gigabytes or something. Then they say they can slow you down or whatever. All I know is I'm the one max because it shows you a little chart of who's using everything. And my kids, they're always at home and they're always at work and they're always usually they use Wi-Fi a lot at the house. So the amount of data they use is like almost zero. And mine is always maxed out. The bar on that is like way out because I almost never use Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi, remember I was talking about the Wi-Fi, how it's improved. It still kind of sucks a lot of times, I think. It's kind of a hassle, or you hook up to it and then it drops out on you. So a lot of times I'm just like, screw it. I just use my cell data, or whatever they call it, right? The regular cell data. And I just max that thing out. Like about halfway through the month, I'm already maxed out. Even though it says unlimited, they just send you notices in the mail and say we might slow you down. So I guess sometimes they slow me down. I don't know. My technical abilities are showing right now. But anyhow, no, I just didn't tell him that he wasn't paying for my phone anymore. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. So anyhow, man, this is like a marathon. I think I may have just set a record for the length of my show. 1 hour, 42 minutes, and 25 seconds. How many hours is that? Is that 2.5 hours? Over 2.5. Let's wait. 60 and 60 is 120. 2 hours and 22 minutes. Wow. I've been a little gabby guy. I've been a gabby guy today. And it's all about the blue jeans, you know? It was the blue jeans story that really made this a long show. It was the damn blue jeans story. If you weren't here and if you missed it, then you need to go back and listen on the replay to the blue jeans story, because it was a doozy. Jolie says all 4 phones are insured for $8 a month, so it comes down to 32. So it's crooked. They throttle speeds down after 22 gigabytes. Swiss Web. I took over his finances. I just didn't feel right. Taking my phone fees out of his account. He didn't have a cell phone anymore. Swiss Web, send me your mailing address. Are you gonna send me those jeans, Wes? Are they Levi's? Oh. I'm getting picky now. All right, Wes. So you say you're on Facebook? Is that what it was? I will. I can't remember the brands. Because I really only buy Levi's. But okay, so I messaged you on Facebook. Okay, so I'll look for that. I'll look for the message, and I'll send you my mailing address. Thank you so much, Wes. That's nice of you. It's very nice of you. Because when you're just down to one pair of jeans, I mean, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad shape I'm in. Okay, so I guess I will bid you adieu. I've kept you guys for 1 hour and 45 minutes. My goodness. I guess I was making up for not being here on last Thursday. And I did miss you guys, and I missed not being on. It seemed like it was a month, right? Instead of just a week. So I guess making up for that. I'll see you guys in the chat rooms, I'm sure. How Sparks will be coming on. Probably see you guys in that one. I do see you guys over there. And I'll be on Thursday, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Hey, Jeannie. One Levi's, one Izod. Ooh, and one Rustler. Wow, it's like a sampler plate there. Fancy Izod, yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Webb. I'll send you that address. Thank you. That's very nice of you. So do that, and I'll try them on, and hopefully they'll fit, and hopefully I'll wear them on. Well, not the next broadcast, but when I get them, I'll wear them on one of my broadcasts. Anywho, where was I? I was saying, oh yeah, but next Thursday, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. Should be 9 a.m. Pacific time. That would be what, 12 p.m. on the Eastern time zone, 11 in the Central, 10 o'clock Mountain. And if you're from some other part of the world, you'll have to Google it, because I don't know, but I don't even know what it would be in Hawaii or in Alaska. I know they're behind me by a few hours, right? But if you're watching from France or from Japan or Australia, then you'll have to just Google it and see what the time difference is, because I have no idea. West Webb says, left, you will have to model them. Jeannie says yes. And Jolie is reminding us about the streams every Tuesday and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And like I said, if you're in Japan or Australia or France or something like that, or Russia, Google it, because I have no idea. I got no idea what time it is over there right now. I think France is like 14 hours from here difference. So let's say you're in France right now, and I think I've worn Rustler jeans before, but it's 11:30, so 12:30. What, it'll be like 2:36 in the morning if you're in France. But I don't know if it's 14 hours. I'm just kind of spitballing here. I think England's like 10 hours or 12 hours. I don't know, but I might be wrong. It might be only 8 hours. I don't know. Because it's only 3 hours to the East Coast. So England might only be like 8 hours. I'm sure Kiki Streets or West knows, and they're Googling it right now, probably. But anyhow, those are farmer jeans. Well, you know, trucking is tied pretty closely to the agricultural community, so I think that a trucker could wear farmer jeans and get away with it. I do. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you for being here on the Trucker John live stream. Like and share, or share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Now you know I've been on too long. I'm getting punchy, I think. Is that the word, punchy? I'm getting a little punchy. Anyhow, thank you so much for being here. I do greatly appreciate it. Love you coming in on the chat, and I love you guys talking and amongst yourselves and building that community. Let's make sure we can build it even more. Let's like and subscribe and share the show. hit the share button and share away, and let's get the subscribers up. And the goal is 1,000. I'm at 409 last I saw. I may have lost a few. It seems like a lot of times I do the show and I lose a few. They're like, who's this asshole? This guy's a fucking asshole. And I lose a couple, but then I'll gain a few couple. And it's sort of like, I think it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I don't think it's 1 step forward and 2 steps back, because we'd be shrinking. At least we are continuing to, the number is slowly but surely ticking up. So I think it's 2 steps forward and 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. But it's 410. So we got another one. People do unsubscribe. I'll see the number. I just look at it like now it says 410. Maybe later on it might go back to 409 or 408. But like I said, we're continually growing. That 410, that might have been Bernardo, because he was new. I don't know if he's still in here or not. If he is, he's lurking. But thank you, Eugene says, you are real here. I am a real, I keep it real. I know I'm not perfect. I know I can blurt out some asshole shit every now and then, and maybe I hurt people's feelings, and and I'm sorry about that. That's just, I'm sorry. I'll preemptively and postemptively say I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend, but hey, what can I say? Sometimes I just say some shit. So I think, but anyhow, before I bury myself here, I just want to say thanks a lot so much, and I'm gonna go ahead and Dark Webster says there are 10. There are 10 as in 410? I don't know. But yeah, I'm showing 9 thumbs ups. And, but anyhow, okay, so, from somewhere in America, I am going to go ahead and play that. I'm going to go ahead and bid my farewells from this rainy 10 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. Thank you for the thumbs ups. Thank you for the subscribes, everybody. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. It's fun hanging out with you guys. And I'm going to do it as long as I can do it. So if there's only 1 person, if there's 0 people, I'm going to do it. And if we get 4 people, or we get 400 people in here, or 500 people, or 1,000, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this regardless. Because what else I got to do? I got nowhere else to go. I'm just trying to do some sort of Richard Gere thing. Whatever. Anyhow. From the flying, no, where am I at? I'm at the pilot in Tumwater, Washington. And you can see Tumwater. There's Tumwater out there. Look at that Tumwater. We got Tumwater all over the place. I'm soaking in the Tumwater right now. But I'll see ya. Keep the rubber side down and the shiny side up. And if the good Lord willing, I'll see you on Thursday at those times that I said earlier, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And so according to your time zone. So, all right, guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you next time. Ciao, everybody. Ciao. From
From somewhere in the United States of America is Trucker John O.T.R. Who knows where I'll be live streaming from? It could be a rest area. It could be a truck stop. Or maybe even a Walmart parking lot. That's right, every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's the Trucker John OTR live stream. That's right. It's going down. It's going down. Hello, my name is John Fowler.
Ciao, everybody. I'll see you next time.